2 wins away from 8 in a row, so it was a very relaxed Neil Lennon, a very relaxed Scott Brown, and a very chilled out looking Celtic team that arrived here at Paradise this afternoon for the visit of Livingston. It is a crucial 3 points, but with Rangers not playing until tomorrow, we're looking to go 16 points clear at the top of the Premiership table. There is of course then the chance that Celtic could wrap up the title tomorrow if Rangers lose at Celtic Park. But we've got to get the job done here first this afternoon with 3 points against Livingston. I'm delighted to say we're back pitch side with Kelly Clark, the current Celtic women's captain, and of course former Celtic striker Simon Donnelly. Kelly, for this game, I guess it's just a case of ticking them off, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I don't think motivation will be an issue at all. You're 2 games away from winning the league for the 8th time, so I'm pretty sure the guys will be very up for it, and it will be a case of 3 points at home, a solid performance, and take the chances when they come. Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about guarding against complacency a lot, but these players have been through this, and they've been round this course so many times, going into games for nothing less than a win, and a convincing win is expected of them.
Yeah, they're used to it, Jerry. Time and time again they've come up trumps. You know, we've been covering 3 games this week. They've taken every game really professionally up until now. I think the scoreline maybe flattered St Mirren a little bit during the week. We had certainly a lot of other chances in the game, notably the penalty miss. But yeah, they're just going about their business really professional, and I'd be surprised if they don't, you know, treat this game exactly the same. I think we touched on it before the game last week. A performance, you know, and if they get a performance today, I think there could be a right few goals. I like the look of the team, and I think it could be 4 or 5 today.
Well, let's have a look then at the starting 11 that Neil Lennon has selected. He's gone for a back 3, as we'll hear from the manager in a second. Scott Bain in goal, a back 3 of Simunovic, Benkovic and Ayer. Then that midfield diamond of Brown, McGregor, Christie and Rogic, with Forrest bombing down the right, Tierney bombing down the left, and Odsonne Edouard up front. Kelly, it's a strong team, isn't it? It's not a team that I would want to face as a defender at all. There's so much potential and fluidity in that attacking force there. You know, Rogic, Edouard, Forrest, McGregor and Christie. You know, there can be so much movement, and to defend that will be very, very difficult. I do think there will be a few goals today. Well, Christie came back and he banged one in at St Mirren through the week. He's just one of those players that you just don't, you know, be like a greyhound out the traps.
He was excellent when he came on during the week, and it probably showed what we've missed. You know, that little edge to his game, a little bit of creativity, took his goal fantastically well, and we have missed him a wee bit. You know, the performances of late, been getting over the line late on in games and getting the 3 points, which is great, but these supporters demand performances, and we were really flying when Christie and McGregor were at their peak in the middle of the park for us, so it's great to see him back.
Let's hear from Celtic manager Neil Lennon. He's speaking with John Ledwith.
Neil, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Several changes to the side, but also perhaps a change in formation looking at the lineup.
Yeah, we'll probably go with a back 3 to start with, and we've got good physicality in the team, so we want to match that. And then obviously I've got a lot of creativity and attacking purpose in the team, so you know, we know what's at stake, we know what we have to do, and obviously with, you know, 3 games in 6 days, it's important to keep the squad fresh.
And coming into today's game, the victory last week, victory midweek, does that allow some more flavour this afternoon? Can they relax a little bit more knowing that they're that close?
No, it's all important about, you know, being professional, earn the right to play, and then let the shackles off, and that's what I'm hoping for today. A good tempo, good start to the game, and with the boys coming in, that little bit of extra freshness and impetus, you know, Odsonne, Ryan, Tom Rogic, you know, there's 3 real genuine quality players to, you know, attack at Livingston. We respect the opposition, they're a good side, they've had a great season, but at the minute we're just focusing on taking another game off, and it's important that obviously the 3 points, but I'd like a good performance as well.
How important is it that there's minutes on the clock for some of those players returning in light of some of the big games coming up?
Yeah, obviously we've got the semi-final in mind as well next week, and it's great to have some important players back, and important that they get some game time into the legs.
Well, we wish you the best of luck today, Neil.
Thank you. Thanks.
So we're not long from kick-off here at Celtic Park. It's fairly chilly this afternoon here at Paradise, but hopefully the team's performance will keep us warm. Just looking at that starting 11, Tom Rogic, Kelly, is a player that whenever he appears on the Celtic starting 11, it excites the fans. He's that kind of player. He's been out for quite a while. He got a bit of a sniff last week against Rangers, was kept back from the game against St Mirren, but it's good to see him back in the starting 11.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's probably quite frustrated at how much he's missed this season, and it was a real shame, you know. But he'll be absolutely delighted to be back. He'll be buzzing to be starting today in front of the home crowd. The crowd will be buzzing that he's back. I imagine he'll get a pretty good reception, and you know, he'll play such a big part. You know, as attacking play going forward and creating the chances. I think, you know, hopefully today a lot of chances will be created, and I'm excited to see what part he has to play in that with his close control. I also wouldn't be surprised if he gets himself a goal.
Before the injuries to McGregor, to Christie and to Rogic at the start of the season, Simon, it was those three that were really forming a great partnership in the middle of the park.
And you'll struggle to beat that three. That three for me is possibly with Scott Brown doing his role. They're the most creative, potent three in the league. And I would take that as far as, you know, Britain as well. They're right up there, those three top quality players. Christie's came through this season, pushed himself right into it. Callum McGregor's been one of Celtic's best players for the last few seasons. And Rogic, you know, the ability is, Kelly says there, close proximity with his tight, close control, he's fantastic. He can open up defences. Like today, Livingston, I'd imagine, will come and sit in. So it's players like him that you look to create the chances for. Edward up front, who's also in form.
And what about Kieran Tierney? He's got the run of the left wing, all of the left wing as it seems today. He's kind of playing as a left winger. Scott Sinclair is on the bench, but he's got that freedom to run up and down the left-hand side. Neil Lennon has said recently he would like to give him a long layoff, but unfortunately he's not able to do that. We just hope he can last the full game this afternoon.
I don't think Kieran will want a long layoff. You know, we heard rumours before the Rangers game last week about his fitness, and then obviously it was a wee bit worrying seeing him going off against Rangers. I believe it was just a little calf problem, but it's great to see him back here today again. And as you say, that left side, he'll bomb up and down all day long.
I think he just plays so many games that sometimes his calf's got a tendency just to cramp up, as it happened in the Rangers game, but they're not concerned long term. Neil Lennon, Kelly, spoke there in his interview about the physical presence that Livingston can pose up front, and that was why he decided to go with the back three. And when you've got Christopher Ajer, who's playing like a warrior these days, Filip Benkovic and Jozo Simunovic, you've got three big, strong centre halves that Livingston are going to find very difficult to break down.
Yeah, I think it's probably quite clever from Neil Lennon. You know, the three guys, until you're down pitch side, you don't actually realise how big they are. You know, I think Ajer's 6'5" maybe. He's massive, you know, and we've seen that he'll take a knock the other week, you know, burst eyebrow, and he gets on with it. His celebrations when he wins a tackle, you know, I love to see that in a defender. It's just as important as scoring a goal, but the three of them, they're three massive big guys, and I think they will physically compete with Livingston today.
So we kept that 13-point gap thanks to a midweek victory against St Mirren and Paisley. Let's look back at all the best bits. Christopher Ajer now in space. Over the halfway line goes the Norwegian. Now McGregor, now Lustig on the right-hand side. Back to McGregor. Forward, lovely pass. What a chance for Ajer. Oh, and he's blasted it over the bar. And Cham, getting a bit tight there in that central position. So space out wide. Forrest, what a chance for Lustig, and a good save, but still it's not. And a great chance for Weah's over the line. How did that? I think the goal's given. He's given it. I think Weah's header went over the line. In the 14th minute here at St Mirren Park, the players are congratulating Timothy Weah. I think his header came off the bar, must have bounced down over the line. And they have the lead here. Timothy Weah with the opening goal. Now Celtic will try down this left-hand side, and Cham finds Izagiri. Corbu's with him. Izagiri likes to take it to the byline, and does. He's there. The cross wasn't bad at all, and Hladke there, and that's a clear hand ball and a penalty kick. What was he thinking? So, and Cham is over this one. Up he steps. He stops his run and he hits it straight at the goalkeeper, and his rebound hits the top of the crossbar, and Cham is down with his head in his hands. That was a poor penalty. Forward it comes from, and Cham Weah picks that one up, and forward now, a chance for Buck perhaps, and he's through. He's inside the area. He got the shot away, and it's saved by the legs of Hladke. And the ball breaks now in an advanced position for St Mirren. A good shot there it was from Cody Cook, and Scott Bain had to dive to his left-hand side to palm that one behind for the corner. That was a great effort from Cook. Now Forrest Being forced back again, but finds Oliver Buck and takes the return pass. Forrest looking to make a driving run, instead feeds Buck, tries to play the ball back in, a chance for Christie! Tried to poke it with his left foot, but Hladky made the save. In comes across from Buck, and the header there from Weah. Chance perhaps for the Norwegian to drive forward in one of his signature runs. Gives it to Izagiri, back now to Christie. Inside him is Edward, about 30 yards from goal. Turns, finds Christie again. Now McGregor, as Celtic feed it out to the right hand side. Forrest now back to McGregor. Now Christie. This is good play in the edge of the area. Christie on the right foot. It was deflected past Hladky, and finally Celtic have that second goal. And as Ryan Christie goes across, bows in front of the away support, finally we can breathe. I said there at the end that finally we can breathe, because Simon, you and I were there doing commentary, and it was kind of one of those largely frustrating evenings. You know, we got that early goal, but then sometimes, you know, it just got a bit slow from Celtic until Ryan Christie came on, and the tempo from mid to front just raised a notch, didn't it?
He definitely lifted it when he came on. You know, his ability, he's like Callum McGregor and Rogic, to be fair. Their ability to take it on the half turn, keep the momentum of the attack going forward, committing defenders. And you just watch his goal there, he actually makes a run into the box, he doesn't receive the ball, moves again, comes back out to pick the ball up for his strike. Those three will have loads of movement today again, and hopefully that will pose problems for Livingston.
Well, one player who's been hitting the headlines rather unfairly this week, but perhaps unsurprisingly, is Celtic captain Scott Brown. Once again, as we saw there on Wednesday night, he did his talking on the pitch, but Ryan Rowe of Celtic TV caught up with Scott at Lennoxtown through the week for a quick chat and a game of Guess Who.
I'm Scott Brown, and this is Guess Who.
So Scott, the first player that we've got to guess is a retired midfielder whose nationality is Scottish. So you can have a bash at that if you want for 5 points.
A retired midfielder whose nationality is Scottish. Played with me at Celtic.
Didn't play with them.
Oh, next clue.
He's won the Scottish Premier League and the Champions League.
Lambert.
Correct, 4 points, Paul Lambert. So, do you want to guess what the link is?
We're Scottish.
Scottish, Scotland captains and Celtic captains. So that's the link there. Jen, any memories of watching Lambert growing up?
I remember him and Lenny playing in the middle of the park together, and he was a lot older than what Lenny was. So Lenny was kind of his predecessor, and no, he done really well going over to Dortmund, winning the Champions League, and then coming back over to Scotland. And he was a fantastic player. He was neat and tidy on the ball, and he done well for Scotland as well.
So the second player, so that's 4 points, doing well already. So retired striker, nationality again is Scottish. Next. So he most recently played for Edinburgh City.
Craig Beattie.
That would have been correct, but that's not the answer here.
Come on!
That's a great shout. That is a great shout, by the way. So, next clue. Won the Scottish Young Player of the Year award in 2003.
2003. Trying to think. I was playing then. Most recently played with Edinburgh City. Retired now.
I mean, that was a cracking shout, Craig Beattie. I feel bad not giving you that.
You should just give me that. 4 points, I'll take that again. No, next question.
Right, so at boys club level, he played for Hutchie Vale.
Oh, jeez.
Right, so we're going to the link, is that he's both played for Hibs and Celtic.
Both played with Hibs and Celtic.
You played with him when he won it. This is the Scottish Player of the Year award.
I played with him. Derek Riordan.
Correct. Derek Riordan.
Dixie.
Any memories from playing with him and sharing the dressing room with him? What was he like?
Yeah, Dixie was fantastic. He's one of the best finishers that I've played with, left and right foot. He always used to just shout, smoked it.
Is that his phrase?
Yeah, as soon as he got it, I can't believe I didn't get Dixie. Wow, that's bad for me. Should have got that.
That one's going to annoy you. Right, so we've got 1 point for that.
Oh,
1
brilliant.
point.
Cheers.
Right. So the third player, this is another striker who's just came out of retirement and his nationality is Australian.
Scott McDonald.
Correct. I think that's the first person to get 5 points as well. So the link is that he signed for Celtic the same season that you did, so do you have fond memories of
Yeah,
Scott?
I still speak to Scotty now. Scotty's a great guy. He was fantastic here. He scored some amount of goals, went down the road to Middlesbrough and had a good career down in England as well.
What kind of character is he?
He was very argumentative on the pitch, but one of the nicest guys ever off the pitch. But he just wanted to win, and that's what I appreciated about him.
So the fourth player is a retired winger that's sadly no longer with us, and his nationality is Scottish.
A retired winger? Tommy Burns.
No, would have been true though, would have fitted, but so next clue for 4 points, he came third in the Ballon d'Or in 1967.
Wee Jinky.
Correct. And do you want to know what the link is? Apart from the obvious play with Celtic?
2 years had got no hair.
That would have been a good link, aye, 2 years got no hair, but up until the match against Dundee, you'd both played exactly 515 games for Celtic. Did you ever think when you first signed you'd go on to play over 500 games for this club?
No, never in a million years. And for me, and you look at myself just taking over Jinky, and Jinky's unbelievable. I think he'll go down in the history for this club as long as it continues to go. And me, I'm just a centre midfielder. He was tricky, Jinky, got the ball, created chances, scored goals, and some of the stories that John Clark's told us about that I can't really repeat on the camera.
Keep it PC.
I've been brilliant.
Right, so the fifth and final one, and then we'll tot up the scores. So this is an active midfielder whose nationality is Kenyan.
Wanyama.
Correct, another 5 points. So the link is that you actually both share the same birthday.
So does Lenny.
And Neil Lennon as well. Any combined birthday celebrations back in the days?
Once, I was in the Witchery in Edinburgh for a meal. I got a picture taken with some random person, and he must have left the Witchery and went down to the local pub. And the gaffer and Irene was out having dinner as well. Went for a couple of drinks afterwards, and it just says, "Oh, I just met Scott Brown afterwards." So I get this text, "I can see you," and I'm like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "It's my birthday. It's pre-season. I've got a glass of wine sitting in front of me." I'm like. Like looking about and going, "He's not in here." Then eventually he's like, "Come down, meet me, and we'll have a celebration or a drink."
Oh, so it worked out all right in the end?
Worked out not too bad.
And in terms of Victor...
So the big man was fantastic. He was an absolute bulldog as well. Ran through a brick wall for anybody. He was fantastic for us. You just knew as soon as he got the ball and he started running forward, and if you got in his road, he was taking you with the ball. But no, he was great. Technical wise, he was fantastic as well. And I think when he first came in, the gaffer thought maybe play him centre half, gave him a shot at centre half, then put him in the middle of the park, and he just made things tick.
I know, some player. Right, so tot these up. So we've got 4, 5, 10, 14, 19. Ran away with it. Scott Brown ran away with it.
Take that.
19.
It's not often I get a good score on a test.
Well done to Scott Brown for his 19 points, although he'll be kicking himself for that Derek Riordan one. Always a good sport is Bruni, and always a focal point. I mean, 3 Rangers players and their manager suspended after the derby, and yet everyone seems obsessed with Scott Brown. I suppose in some way, Kelly, you should take it as a compliment maybe.
Absolutely, he's got this ability to just get in people's heads, you know. I feel like everybody outside of Celtic hates Scott Brown, but you'd do well to find somebody that wouldn't take Scott Brown in their team.
Yeah.
You know, to have that ability to wind the opposition up by doing absolutely next to nothing wrong is a talent, to be honest, you know. And for them to react the way that they did is quite pathetic from grown adults, but you know, it's one up Bruni. He did his job, and we got the 3 points.
I'm laughing at a tweet that's been doing the rounds this morning, Simon. I don't know if you've seen it, that Scott Brown has made 4 changes to the Rangers side, playing Motherwell tomorrow. Out go Morelos, Kent and Halliday and Gerrard. And it is kind of like that because as Kelly says, you know, he's so instrumental, and he just seems to get people so frustrated, but he doesn't do anything wrong in the process.
No, he's a leader. He's a leader. I went on record last week saying that he played a captain's role against Rangers, and he did. You know, a lot's been made out this week with the SFA as well. charging him with nonsense. I just think he does his talking on the pitch time and time again. He's a leader for Celtic and a winner.
Well, let me tell you, the heavens have just opened here at Celtic Park. The pitch is getting a good watering before kick-off. Paul Currie and Tom Boyd will be your commentators. Before that, though, let's find out about a very special launch this afternoon. This is the sensory room at Celtic Park for those young people who live with autism. This is a special place for them to go and watch the game, and it's open this afternoon for the first time.
So this is a room that we have been working on for a long time, and it's finally here, and I'm delighted about that. And it's really a place where children and young people, you know, who live with autism can come here. It's a safe environment. They can have their families here, and it takes them away from some of the things that might have, you know, otherwise concerned them sitting out in the stadium. So it's a great facility, and as I say, we're finally here.
I feel like it's really nice. You know, infants with autism, you know, it's a huge thing. So I'm really happy that they have a safe environment, you know, to come and watch our games and enjoy themselves, and also play and also build on their social skills and, you know, be able to make friends. So it's really nice that Celtic's done this, and, you know, Lisbon Lions have contributed so much to it. So it's amazing.
Oh, it's tremendous. I'm delighted to say we went further than I really thought we would. It's been an awful lot of thought went into it, and today was outstanding. As you can appreciate what we have here, it was awesome. I promise you, when I walked in, my eyes were like saucers. This is something that everybody will enjoy, and particularly young ones that deserve and need. That's what Celtic always do, look after them.
Well, basically, sort of 5 years ago now, we're trying to take our son Nathan to a football match at the Stadium of Light in Sunderland, and he's got autism and couldn't basically cope with the atmosphere and noise there. So we kind of saw the problem and kind of came up with the idea of a sensory viewing room in football stadiums, and got it in at Sunderland first, and took it from there, and now been trying to advise all clubs to do it, and Celtic have produced a wonderful facility here. I would probably say, you know, one of the best out there at the moment, and it's going to benefit so many kids and families.
It's often hard for some people on the autism spectrum, or anybody with sensory difficulties, to actually watch a match out in the stands. So rooms like this, with calming things like the bubble tubes, the interactive mat, if things just start to get a bit too much for them, they can just come along, you know, calm down a little bit, interact with things, and then just go back to watching the match. And it's massively inclusive for people with sensory difficulties.
The rain is lashing down over Paradise. A schoolboy error from Jerry McCulloch and forgetting to take the umbrellas out. Trackside, I'm sure he will remember for half-time, but we are just minutes away from the start of this game. Remember, 6 games to go. Celtic need just 2 wins to secure an 8th consecutive league title. And certainly with the team that Neil Lennon's named this afternoon, Tom Boyd, it's a very, very strong lineup. I'm expecting goals, I'm expecting 3 points.
Well, what we're getting back into teams, the real creativity we've got from the guys like Christie and Tom Roderick, and they're both playing today. So we are expecting goals today. We're hopefully going to take a lot more of our chances in the games previously. We've had a lot of chances, but not took as many, a fair percentage of them. And I think that both games, the last couple of games, I think maybe we've played really well in the first half. Maybe not continued that into the second. Hopefully we get a 90-minute performance today.
And if you're just joining us, the Celtic starting 11 this afternoon: Scott Bain in goals, a back 3 of Jozo Simunovic, Filip Benkovic and Christopher Ajer. A midfield triangle of Scott Brown at one end, Tom Rogic at the other end, Callum McGregor and Ryan Christie make up that 4. And then the front 3 are very attack-minded: James Forrest on the right, Kieran Tierney playing in a more advanced role on the left, and Odsonne Edouard through the middle. Guard of Honour awaits both sets of players. This was the fixture, of course, that got Celtic's league campaign underway back in August. A 3-1 victory that day. Tom Rogic got the scoring underway after just 8 minutes. That was back in the 4th of August, a long time since then, and Celtic have maintained this incredible record here in the league this season. 15 wins, 1 draw, 43 goals and just 6 conceded. And when you look at that team this afternoon, there are goals throughout that 11.
Well, that's something that we have been missing in recent games. We've won the games, and you don't want to sacrifice entertainment for losing the games, but we want both here at this football club. We want to see a bit of entertainment, but also plenty of goals to get us this victory, which could see us win the league this weekend. Don't want it to happen. I'd rather be in a game that we play. It's a bit of a flat feeling if you win the league and you're not playing or not involved, so we'll still take it, but we'd rather have it when we're playing in our own hands.
Well, Celtic Park filling up as the weather earlier on in Glasgow was actually cold and dry, but now it's cold and wet. But I'm sure the Celtic players over the next 90 minutes will keep everyone warm and entertained as they maintain or look to maintain this incredible domestic record in 2019. 14 wins, 1 draw, and again that's the basis on which we are now 13 points clear at the top of the table.
Well, it's where you've got to start from, is it? Your home form does win you so many games, does win you so many trophies, what you can take away, and we have been almost imperious other than that Aberdeen game here domestically. It's a fantastic record to have, because throughout the course of the campaign, and thinking how many games we have played after midweek games, to still come in here and produce on so many occasions, it says a lot for the players and their mentality and their desire, and also no little support from the crowd and his fans coming here and giving their backing, and I think that's a combination of both elements here that's getting us through these games.
And if Celtic have the most impressive home record with 15 wins and 1 draw, Livingston have only won 1 away game in the league this season. That was away back in August when they won 2-0 at St Mirren Park. Of course, Celtic won there on Wednesday night with the same score, and there is the man of the moment, our captain Scott Brown, leading the Celtic team out. I'm sure will receive the warmest of welcomes. He's now in the top 9 of all-time appearances for Celtic, and that is the most incredible record as well over a long period of time, and continues to inspire both on and off the park.
Well, without any question, and he is a leader. He's certainly grown into that role, and you see what he is and what he produces for us week in, week out. And he's no Sibo any longer with his finishing. The goal that he scored that we just seen earlier on the highlights package was absolutely stunning.
Do you think somebody's told him he's not allowed to smile anymore?
Well, look, probably somebody told him not allowed to celebrate and have a party when you've just about clinched the league title and you're not allowed to smile at fans and applaud the fans, which is an absolute nonsense. So it is. But we'll go back and we'll get into another thing.
Neil Lennon takes his place in the dugout alongside John Kennedy and Damien Duff. Celtic, of course, in the green and white hoops. Livingston in their change kit this afternoon, all black. And we were talking about this in the office, and Livingston have secured the Premiership status for next season. They're comfortably clear, they're in the bottom 6, they've got nothing to lose this afternoon. Will they come and try and have a go?
Well, I would imagine so, but do they want damage limited? There's nothing, as you say, to worry about. There's no chance of relegation. I was speaking to the manager earlier, but he was just saying, Gary obviously was here at Celtic, on the books at Celtic, and he was just saying, well, just go out here and have a bit of fun. And sometimes players can go out and express themselves, but a bit of fun is not playing the champions in their own ground, and that's what you're going to get here, is playing a team who have got everything to prove. We've got a massive game next week, and a lot of these players want to put themselves in the eye for that game next week against Aberdeen.
Celtic players just going into the huddle to get those last few words of inspiration from the captain. It will be the visitors to get the game underway. They will shoot from right to left as we look from our vantage point high in the main stand. Celtic, of course, will defend the Jockstein stand in the first half. And I would clearly love to just hear what Scott Brown does say inside that huddle, because so often it is so effective. Celtic break from the huddle. Good to see the likes of Ryan Christie back getting a start, Tom Rogic as well, Filip Benkovic, Jozo Simunovic. So it just shows the strength of this Celtic squad and all the players coming back at such an important time of the season. Of course, after today we have a Scottish Cup semi-final, but it's all about the Premier